Hey, cool. We're back. This is it. I didn't do an update this weekend. I did this Monday night because Wi-Fi was down on base. I'm not sure actually what happened, but it's fixed for the most part. Maybe now. I actually don't know how this looks, but hopefully it It looks okay. Who knows? It's been a wild week. I'll go through the week chronologically. Just to keep everybody updated. Um, yeah, so we're in week 8 now, but week 7 is where I left off before, and that was Father Heart of God week, which is super crazy, and it's just one of those weeks that makes everybody cry, because it's just like you just realize the love of God in like a pretty insane way. Uh, yeah, it's just like a new frontiers, straight up. Um, you realize really what God thinks of us, and it's really good for like self worth and things like that, if that makes any sense. Um, yeah, like to describe it. Our speaker was Rich, this guy named Rich, and he was such a good guy. He quoted C.S. Lewis and like Richard Rohr and like all these desert fathers and stuff like that. So it was like, man, I like this guy. He was cool. He was cool. Yeah, we got along really well. It was all about, yeah, just like how God sees us, what and like what the plan. I don't know. I don't want to say the plan because it's not about where we're like gonna end up, like a career or something like that. But it's more like what He sees in us, like trait wise and things like that. And what I really felt like God was telling me that I have like a sub calling or a, a calling that kind of permeates whatever I'll do, um, to be kind of a peacemaker in the situation, really advocate for peace, whatever situation I'm in. Yeah, and if you know the Saint Francis prayer of peace, that's kind of where the definition of peace behind that. He's really put that on my heart in the past week. Uh, Saint Francis is like, he knows what he's talking about, man. He's got a lot of good things to say. Yeah, but it's just wild. It's just crazy. Um, and Noah actually means peace. So I guess something, yeah. So that was really cool to find out because that's really, yeah, what I guess God sees for me, or that's just what I got. I'm sure there's more, and I'll be constantly discovering those things. But yeah, that was cool. Uh, then after that was during the week, which is awesome. Um, the weekend was just crazy. Went to Kalk Bay on Saturday, and just shopped and went to restaurants. I didn't really buy much. I spent like $4, $5. Um, yeah, but yeah, it was cool. It's just a bunch of cute little shops. Um, Bought a little fork to make a fork ring because yeah, just because I want to see if I can. I have like a spoon ring that I wear. It's like the same concept essentially. And then Saturday was just wild. I went we saw the penguins at some beach. There's penguins, southern hemisphere. Then we went to Chapman's Peak, which is like crazy beautiful. You can see like it's not like the tallest thing. I was actually kind of surprised, but it's a super cool like lookout. If you hop a little fence and climb underneath Chapman's Peak, there's a cave you can hang out in. So we're hanging out in this cave. and I saw a like a ledge, which I mean I posted it. It's my profile picture on Facebook. My friend Tom, here on my screen. My friend Tom went. And he's like, Noah, I'm gonna like hang from this edge. I want you to take a picture. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I take a picture of him, and then it was like, yeah, maybe I should. I don't know why I said should. For whatever reason, retrospect was pretty stupid, but I hung from a cliff with my hands, uh, and it wasn't really an optical illusion. A lot of people will assume it's like, oh yeah, you were just freaking, your feet were on something, or like there was ground like 5 feet below you. Nah, it's a freaking cliff, man. There was somewhere to put my feet, kind of right by me, like right close to the rock. But when I was hanging, um, obviously there was nothing. There was a little bit of a drop, and then it's like a crazy steep, like, well, probably like that, straight down to like the water. Well, no, I don't know what it was like. I can't remember, but I probably could have recovered. Um, maybe if I let go, if I started slipping, I could have like put my feet back. I could have swung them back, potentially. If for whatever reason, while I was just like hanging flat, I just dropped. I probably would have made it to the ocean. It's so dumb. I don't know why I did that. I'm not gonna do that again. Um, I got a picture though, I guess. I don't know what compelled me to do that, but it was the grace of God that saved my life, I suppose. No, it wasn't. It wasn't as life threatening. I didn't. It wasn't just like a sheer drop for like 40 meters, but it was definitely not dangerous. Well, sorry, it definitely was dangerous rather. So that's maybe not the best, but what can you do, right? You gotta live life. Um, no, that's dumb. Don't, like, if you got Chapman's Peak, don't. Maybe sit on it. Sit on that thing. It's cool, but man, the wind was blowing. Uh, that was. I was afraid. The fear on my face, my profile picture, is real fear. I think, or maybe I was just like yelling. I don't know. I was shaking when I got up. Yeah. Then, yes, that was Sunday. I suppose that was yesterday. That's crazy. Then today, had class. It was the first day of lordship, which is a cool topic about. I guess so far it just seems like surrender to the Lord, which I'm all about. Who doesn't like surrendering? And yeah, just benefits and things like that of that. And then it was a super moon today. Sorry. It's a super moon. So I climbed Musenberg Mountain, which is like actually a pretty big mountain. I thought it was like small. It didn't look that big, but it's actually really freaking high. So I climbed up this mountain after dinner. I started at 7 o'clock, and then I got back at like 10. Yeah, it was like an hour and a half up, and then we sat at the top. I'll probably post pictures of that. You can see all of Cape Town, and you can see this super moon, and we were climbing during the sunset. It was wow. It was just gorgeous. It was like I wouldn't trade that view, like going on that hike, for almost anything. Like you can't buy that. Um, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna remember that view for like the rest of my life. It was just like, yeah, that was wild. Um, yeah, and we were like right on the peak of this huge mountain. Like you were looking, and there was nothing higher than us, and it was like, yeah, it was just incredible. Um, and the moon was so bright on the way down. I didn't even use a flashlight, even though it was like middle of the night. Yeah, just because the moon lit the whole thing. Then, oh man, on the way down, we could hear, sometimes in the mountains, there's like all these caves and stuff like that, and you hear people like chanting because there's people. There's like a lot of like witchcraft and stuff like that around. we could hear these people doing some kind of a crazy ceremony. They were like banging sticks together or something like that and just screaming in these caves. It was echoing over the mountains. It was like, what the heck, right? And yeah, and so we heard that, and Jack and Brandon Lee they started like hollering back at these witches, I suppose. And I don't know what you would call it, like pagans or something like that. Yeah, they just started hollering back at these guys because they were just screaming. They weren't really saying anything. They, they just yelled, right? And then we waited for like a minute, and then we hear them like yell back at us, but they weren't speaking English. I couldn't understand them. They yelled something back, and then one of the guys just, I guess, yelled like "Jesus loves you" to these witches, and man, these guys were steamed. I don't know if they understood us or heard us, or if they were just pissed the whole time. But these guys just started freaking barking stuff down at us, right? And they were screaming. They sounded pissed, right? And they're like hitting their stuff together. And it was like they were repeating some line. No idea what it was. But I'm just like freaking running down this mountain. I'm praying. I trip and I fall into a thorn bush. This was like an hour ago. I like trip and fall into this thorn bush. And I get up and just keep freaking going on this mountain because these guys are chanting or screaming at us, and they sound like upset, and it sounds like they're getting closer too. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. And for these freaking guys, like Brandon Lee, my roommate, and Jack too as well, they were just like, yeah, they were just yelling. It was just commotion. It was wild. Long story short, I got cursed, I think, by these witches on a mountain. I don't know, man. It's spooky. It's spooky. Pray for me, because I maybe got cursed. So that's no good. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for watching. I still won't. There's that thing I was thinking about talking about last week that I'm still deciding not to talk about. But I've told some people about it. So it's another cliffhanger. It's a double cliffhanger. I'm not going to guarantee I'll talk about it next week. If it's nothing urgent or close. So, yeah, it's like maybe a year from now. We'll see. Whatever, Trevor. Anyway, guys, love you very much. Thank you for watching yet another vlog with terrible quality and just me rambling. I hope people actually like these. I'll try to keep people updated. Yeah, peace and love, shalom. Jesus loves you. Feel free to message me about anything in the whole world. All right, bye-bye.